Can I have your attention, please, back in the back? We'll go ahead and start with our post-qualifying for tomorrow night's Southern 500 here at Darlington Raceway. And now we have it. Okay, very good. Our second quickest out there this afternoon is Jeff Gordon. He drives the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet. Also the National Guard Facebook on the car this weekend for Hendrick Motorsports. Our third quickest is Brian Vickers. He drives the number 83 Red Bull Toyota. And Jeff Gordon, you've been a multi-time winner here at Darlington, I believe 7 times. Talk about your qualifying lap out there today.
Well, I'm really excited. This team is on a roll. They're just putting awesome race cars out on the track for me every weekend and making it a joy. And you know, something I'm looking forward to going to every race, you know, and every track. So that was the case today. We made a bunch of race runs like everybody else did in that first practice and put it into qualifying trim, and the car was pretty good. We made some really great adjustments for qualifying and a little bit extra grip, drew a great number, and laid down a great lap. You know, a couple little things that I felt like I could have done. I think the car was better than I was, so I think I could have done a couple things to maybe have gotten Jamie. When you're that close, within a hundredth of a second, then you start looking at things you could do better. But I'm very pleased to be second.
Thank you, Jeff. And we have Brian Vickers, as I said, joined us. He's our third quickest. This is his third top 10 start here at Darlington and his second top 10 start here in 11 races this season. If we could get a comment from Brian, and then if you have any questions for Brian, go ahead and direct those towards him so he can get out there for the NASCAR Nationwide Series race. Brian, talk about your qualifying effort, please.
It was a good lap. Wasn't good enough for the pole. I thought we had a shot at it. The car was I was pretty happy with the car in race trim today. We made a really long run at the start of the second practice. I was really happy with that. We didn't run a really fast lap, but we were trying some stuff with our air pressures. And, was really happy on the long run. The qualifying runs, the last several weeks we've been really rushing our qualifying because our race stuff hasn't been as good as we wanted. Either haven't made a run at all or only made one. And this week was the first week in a while that we've, kind of been able to make the qualifying runs we wanted to in practice and really felt like we had a chance to adjust the car and make it the best we can. And it showed, it's the best qualifying we've had in several races. So real proud of the Red Bull guys for that. Track position is going to be really important here. It is a one-groove racetrack, and it's not like it used to be. So I think track position is going to mean a lot. So it's good to have a good qualifying effort.
Okay, thank you, Brian. If you have a question for Brian Vickers, let's take those first if we can, and then we'll release him. Any questions for Brian Vickers? Reed has one right over here, Andy.
Reed Spencer with Sporting News. This is actually for both guys, but for Jeff and Brian, given what was going on in practice today, is the track with the new pavement actually tougher than it was with the old pavement? And it looked pretty tough out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's challenging in different ways. The old track, the challenge was to manage your tires and throttle control and slide it through the corners and then you have to back up so much every lap because you're going to lose grip every lap continuously. And I felt like more guys, would kind of brush the wall in the old track. Like you'd kind of slide up to it, you just kind of tick it with a quarter and just keep going. So you probably had more stripes with the old track. Now you're just going a lot faster. You're doing it every lap. There's not really a drop off in pace, but you're going so fast and you're so close on the edge and you're so close to the wall that when you do crash, rarely is it just a tick on the right rear quarter. Normally it's a backup, and you saw a lot of that today. So probably less guys hit the wall now than they used to, but when they do hit it, it's a lot harder, and you end up having to really tear the car up.
Jeff, you want to comment on that, please?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what Brian said. I mean, the old track had a tremendous amount of grip for one lap. So, when you went out to qualify, I mean, you picked up so much speed based on practice because you could just really go for it for one lap. Where here, even today in qualifying, you're going for it, but that edge is right there, and that's it makes it pretty hairy when you are trying to make qualifying runs the heat of the day, or you're making these race runs. That edge is just so close, and it's such a fine line that it's a lot easier to go over, and we're carrying a lot more speed as well. So, it's certainly nothing like it used to be. And Brian pretty much nailed it about the pace used to just drop. Now really the pace doesn't really drop.